good, people? We are here with part 27 of Chronicon. Archaix.com. Make sure you check out the Archaix YouTube channel and get some of that knowledge in your dome. We got that daily dose of gnosis coming at you. Before we get into that, though, we have Chronicon, Dream of the Shore Near Another World. Amazing game. Sequel to Chrono Trigger. It's emotional vibes. Some very chill music going on. Alright, now we mentioned the Anunnaki. They're ascending out of the deep from the southern parts of the solar system after a 732-year orbit below the ecliptic. Now it passes through the inner system in the 22nd year of King Enman Luana of Sumer. The calendrics for this year are astonishing. This is 108 years after the Great Pyramid was completed, and 1,188 Annus Mundi, or 108 times 11 from man's banishment in 3895 BC. It is 468 years before the deluge, or 5,616 months, which is 108 times 52 months, as this is the 1,332nd year that Earth had orbited the Sun in its new astronomical position. This timeline is 666 plus 666 years in orbit, and this year is also the 666th of the Olmec calendar. The Vedic calendar has it at 396th year, half of Nibiru's orbit of 792 years. The Anunnaki dynasty over the Sethites, beginning the oppression, was 132 years earlier, or 792 plus 792 months, in 2839 BC, at the birth of Noah. This year of 2707 BC was precisely a cursed earth period of 414 years after the start of the Mayan temple of the cross calendar in 3121 BC. Now Nibiru begins its 60-year journey north of the ecliptic. 2699 BC. This is the traditional beginning of Chinese civilization. Ancient Chinese calendar begins. It must be recalled that the Chinese recall that their own first dynasty began with the Dragon Kings, the Anunnaki. This year is 600 times 8 years before the Anunnaki are defeated at Armageddon in 2106 AD. As this is 460 years before the flood, it is exactly 5,520 months. Historians have for a long time recognized the links between the ancient Maya and the Chinese. We find it here interesting that this calendrical start of China is the 414th year of the Mayan calendar, or better known as a cursed earth period. 2660 BC. Canaan has died at the age of 910, once a mighty Sethite king. Noah was 179 years old, and his future wife Naamah was 261 years old. 2653 BC. Now planet Phoenix enters the inner system, completing its 138-year orbit and exits on its way back out to, you guessed it, the Kuiper Belt. This is one cursed earth period before the flood, 414 years, and this year uniquely synchronizes with the Mayan calendar. It is 460 years of the Maya long count, or 5,520 months, 552 times 10. The other ancient American system, the Olmec, has it at 720 years, or 10 precessional years, 72 years of degrees in the cycle of precession. 2647 BC. After 60 years north of the ecliptic on its highly elliptical orbit, Nibiru passes back through the inner system and completes its 792-year orbit. This is the 82nd year of the reign of the Nephilim king, Enman Luana. Nibiru's appearance in the inner system is calendrically significant. This is 2,448 plus 2,448 months, or 408 years, before the flood. The 2,592 years of the Anunnaki chronology is 864 times 3. It has now been exactly 792 years since the Watchers descended in 3439 BC. Noah is 192 years old. His future wife, Naamah, 274 years old. 2635 BC. The ancient Earth killer comet group passes through the inner system after 330 years below the ecliptic on its 396-year orbit. This is the 204th year of the Anunnaki dynasty, or 2,448 months, and Luana has been ruling for 94 years. Alright guys, we're going to stop it there, and we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be hitting up that 2609 BC. Let's do it. I'll see you then. Have a good night.